Okay. Good morning, Dean. How are you?
Morning, Bonnie. I'm doing good. How you going?
Very, very good. Thank you. Thank you.
Good.
And obviously, we've got people joining us right now for the live deal clinic. Would you like to let everyone know actually where you are right now?
Yeah, so I'm currently in Australia, visiting family and working from Australia at this point in time. So I'll be spending Christmas here and then back to study UK.
Beautiful. I love how flexible life can be, really, which is amazing, especially in these times that we've had recently. That's nice to know that everything's going um, back to normality, shall we say, as much as possible. Okay, beautiful. So we've got 5 participants with us already. So welcome to our attendees. So we have Michael, Trevor, and Walter. Thank you so much for joining already. Um, so we're gonna to start with Dean. So Dean, as he said, is he's currently in Australia, works in the UK, uh, plays rugby. I just
Right.
thought I'd let them know that, Dean, um,
Yeah.
and is a property professional with sourcing. So I'm just going to share the screen and do a nice little intro because Dean has got some wonderful properties to actually share with you. So let me play his video intro if I can. It's the tech side of this, people. Do apologize. 1 second. Mm, there we go. And play bio. Apologies, attendees. I thank you for your patience. Uh,
Not the only one that's not great with tech, Bonnie. So
Honestly, the team do love it. Okay, I hope this is the right one. I believe so. Okay, let's share and we'll see. There we go. All right, so this is Dean's bio. I have to take my headphones out to play this on full so that you guys can hear this. Bear with me.
Hey everyone, glad you could join. Thanks for being with us today. My name is Dean Parada. I am the founder and the director of Parada Property. Parada Property is a UK-based sourcing and project management company. We have 2 parts of the business. The first part is our sourcing side of the business. We source properties all over the UK, various strategies. We do HMOs, BRRs, buy-to-lets, commercial developments as well, all across the UK. The main area we source in is Manchester, Greater Manchester, Leeds, Liverpool, although we do also source in other areas across the UK as long as the deal is good. Now that's the first part of our business. The second part of our business is our project management, which we call our hands-off service. So as you know yourself, a lot of you investors are busy, whether you live in overseas countries or you live in busy cities with important busy jobs. You want to outsource the actual project management of your investment over to someone that you can trust and that you trust to take care of that in a way that is going to be hands off. And that's what we do. So we look after absolutely everything from surveys, solicitors, planning if we need planning, architectural drawings, all the way through to the actual refurb and project management of the property if that needs to be done as well, and all the way through to tenancy so we can actually get tenants in that property. That's called our hands-off service, and we do that as well as a part of our business. Anyway, guys, I won't bore you too long with all the information about what we do. Here are some clips to show you actually what we do, and hopefully in the future we can work together. It's a 5-bed, all ensuite, high spec. I'm going to show you around, show you the little touches that we've done. Tenants like little touches. They want to feel at home. They want to feel comfortable. They want to be able to stay in their HMO for long periods of time. And we've done absolutely everything to make sure they do. So let me show you around.
So I'm here with Terry, our investor who has purchased this house, Hong Kong based, but he's now moved over to the UK. Terry, what are your thoughts on the whole project?
Okay, this is almost the finished part of the property. Yep. And they amazed me today. And it is on budget, on time. Quality is good, quality is perfect. Everyone, all the arrangement, hassle-free service is unbeatable. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Terry.
Thanks for your time.
Okay. So I hope everyone you could hear that, Dean, right?
Yeah, I got that.
Perfect. So I just want to say to the investors that have joined us that this will be going out to our other channels, YouTube, Facebook, and so on and so forth. And you will get a copy of the recording so that you can rewatch this. Any questions, please feel free to drop them into the chat box live, or alternatively, if anyone is joining us for the replay, please do type #replay and send your questions into admin@sourcinginvestments.co.uk. Alternatively, those that are watching or would like to see it can actually register to be an investor and pay for this as well. Okay, perfect. So, Dean, I'm going to hand over to you. So obviously we have just seen that your UK-based sourcing and project management company specialises in Manchester, Liverpool, but obviously other locations across the UK as well with various strategies. I just want to let the investors know that you actually joined us last year in September, beginning of September. Average yields that you can find generally sit at 13.9%. And properties on average cost just over £100,000. So with that, I would like to hand over to you. Thank you, Dean.
Well, thanks, Bonnie. Just let me know of the times if I'm going a little bit over. Just tell me to speed it up so I'm not talking too much. But
Okay,
I will.
I'll
go ahead and share my screen now.
Thank you.
So there's a couple of us on here. There's only, I'll say hi again once I get this. Once this on, but I'll make it, there's 3 people that are attending, so I'm not going to be too formal. I'm going to make it quite relaxed for Michael, Trevor, and Walter as well, and make it quite personal. So guys, if you have questions as we're going along, please feel free to ask, because I want to make sure that I'm getting all the answers out there that you need should you wish to invest with us, which is always a smart decision. But feel free to ask as we go along, and we can kind of do it that way, as opposed to me presenting to a large group of people, which we're not doing today. But that's the intro. I'm Dean. Parada Property is my company. What we do is source property across the UK. So there's 2 sides to our business. The first service that we offer, as we spoke about, is property sourcing. Now, it's not just any property sourcing. We do a lot of due diligence. We know the market very well. We are experts in what we do, and we've got the I guess proof is in the pudding when we show you that with the property that we've already done and the investors that we have. You've seen an example there of Terry, which is one of our Hong Kong based investors who was bought through us. So that's to show that we can fulfill what we claim at the start when we're selling a deal. So we work in various strategies, HMOs. Obviously, you guys are well aware of HMOs, shared houses, BRRs. So we do flips. We're also in the development space and moving more into that as well. Our niche at this point in time is kind of that Manchester HMO market, around that 5-6 bedroom HMO market. You don't need planning for that. It's really straightforward. The demand in Manchester, guys, is huge, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. And the cash flow is crazy, so you'd be silly not to do it. Our end goal strategy we have set in motion from the beginning, which will lead on to the second service that we have, but we're quite clear with what we're doing. We do a lot of market research. We work very closely with agents in the area to ensure that if we have a property that we're presenting, a deal that we're packaging, to ensure that that property as a HMO, as a BR, whatever it is, we'll tenant, we'll rent, we'll get the refinance that we've put out from the start. And again, we're very transparent in what we do. Our sourcing fee, guys, is fully refundable up until exchange. So we're not like other sources. And I say this not in a cocky way, but in a very confident way. Our customer service is the best in the business, and we put our hand where our mouth is, in that with our sourcing fees is, if there's something you don't like along the way, it is fully refundable up until exchange. So we're not just going to sell a deal, see you later. That's to show that we want to be with you along the whole journey. Now, the second service we have, Bonnie, do you want me to answer the question there as we go?
Okay, I can't see the question. Is there
I've
a
got
question?
a chat there. That's you. You put it in the chat.
Yeah, no, I was just putting in that I've just highlighted your landing page.
Sorry, it's Trevor. It's Trevor saying thank you for your time. No worries, Trevor.
Okay.
No
Oh,
happy
yes,
that you're
separate
here.
queue again.
Yeah,
Apologies.
that's fine. So,
thank you.
no problem. So I'll continue on into the next. Our next service that we offer is what's called our hands-off service. You've heard it called many things, but our hands-off service, guys, is where we take care of the property from the refurb all the way through to the tenancy of the property and the refinancing of the property as well. So again, this is to show that we don't want a quick dollar, make some money off sourcing fee and see you later. We want to follow this thing through. They're two separate services. This is an optional service. It doesn't have to go with the property sourcing, but we are experts at this. And if you jump on our socials and you see our videos and stuff like that, you'll see that we've got a lot of projects going on because a lot of our clients choose to take this option up. Now, what does it include? In short, everything. We do everything. The main thing is just problem solving, but it is access to our national power team. That's surveyors, that's solicitors, that's architects. We have people, for example, if we're doing a HMO, we might need to get architectural drawings done up. We might need to get submissions to the council to change of use from C3 to C4. We might need planning if we're going for a bigger property. If we're going for units, we'll need to get planning consultants and surveyors on board so that we can go through that planning. Builders for project management, guys, if you've worked in the UK market, especially if you're not on board managing the project yourself, you'll know it's very, very hard to get builders that you can trust. So to get builders, we've got some really good build teams on board. Comms there for licensing and council, so doing all the communication on that side. Furnishing the property, we do that as well, and tenant compliance vetting and letting of the property. We have partnered as well with a lot of people, a company that works in multiple councils within Manchester, where we can offer guaranteed leases. We've partnered with multiple companies, but one of these companies can offer 3-year leases and guaranteed rent on certain properties for all types of different tenant types. So there's some really risk-free investment strategies that we offer. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But this is a service as well. The two services don't have to go together. Our property sourcing is one side. Our hands-off service is another. If you already have a property that you're doing, but you need someone to manage it, that's a service that we can do as well. So market update, this is quickly and it's pretty straightforward. A lot of people, if you're not based in the UK, they're seeing what's happening in the UK or all over the world. And we get asked this all the time, what's going to happen to the UK market? And I wish I could sit here and give you an answer, guys, but the truth is nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen. They said at the end of 2020, there was going to be a crash. There was going to be a 10% dip in the market. The Bank of England, done a full comprehensive report on that. That never happened. People are waiting for this dip. People are waiting. Okay, I'll just wait to buy. This is an old saying, and it is so true. It sums it up. Now is always the right time to buy. Buy and wait. Don't wait to buy. So if there's a property, if there's an opportunity, if it's cash flowing property, don't wait to buy that property. Just get in the market. The market's very forgiving. Property is always going to go up. So that's all I will say about that. The UK market is always going to be hot. So it's always the right time to get involved in property. Our projects so far. So I'm going to try and breeze through this pretty quickly. But we've done a lot of work. We've done over £5 million in client property transaction. That's £5 million in buying property for our clients, whether they're overseas, whether they're local. We've sourced that much property, and that's growing every day. 20 HMO conversions we've completed, or they're currently underway. We're very, very busy. Check the socials out down in the right-hand corner. You've got the Instagram socials, and you've got the Instagram social there. And then commercial to residential projects we also do. And I'll give you an example, guys. There's a clip here of one of the conversions that we've done, one of the projects that we've done. This, just to give you a rundown of some of the numbers that you can expect and that you can anticipate. And this is earning money currently right now, so it's not hypothetical. It's something that has been done, has been proven to work. Some of the numbers you can kind of project. The Bolton HMO conversion that I'm about to show you in a second, we bought that for 115,000. Our refurb was 45,000. Keep in mind, materials and labor costs have gone up since then, but our refurb was 45,000. The property will refinance for around about 135, 140,000 conservatively. Each room, guys, because of where this property is located in an area in Bolton that's very close to this town centre, each room is going for between 500 and 550 pounds per month. Terry, who is one of our clients, is absolutely rolling in cash with a deal like this. And these are the deals that are out there, but you got to be a bit bullish, and you got to be confident and trust the process, because there is a high demand for rooms. Now, I'll show you this clip, and I'll talk a little bit more about one of the services or companies that we've partnered with, as well as some of our other deals. Oh, if I get back on that one. Oh, no, you know what? I'll swipe. So, Bonnie, how long do we have? Oh, sorry, Bonnie's paused. But this is only a minute, guys. So I will mute myself first, and then I will.
You're fine for time, Dean. You're fine.
No problem, Bonnie. Guys, if I'm talking too fast, just put in the chat or the Q&A, just say slow down. But I just want to make sure I get all the information out there, so that you can be confident with investing with us at Parada Property. But let me show you our project that we've done in Wheatfield Street, Bolton.
Dean, you need to unmute yourself. It's muted the video. So if you could start it again, please, and put your mic back on so we can hear the video. Thank you so much.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Guys.
okay. That's okay. It's all good.
Welcome. I'm so excited. We are done. Our property in Bolton. It's a 5-bed, all ensuite, high spec. I'm going to show you around, show you the little touches that we've done. Tenants like little touches. They want to feel at home. They want to feel comfortable. They want to be able to stay in their HMO for long periods of time. And we've done absolutely everything to make sure they do. So let me show you around. I'm here with Terry, our investor who purchased this house. Hong Kong based, but he's now moved over to the UK. Terry, what are your thoughts on the whole project?
Okay, this is almost the finished part of the property. And they are basically today, and it is, but partial field service is not needed.
Cool. Thank you, Terry. So that was one of the projects, guys, that we've done. Not sure what that is, but that was one of the projects that we've done. As I said, we've got 20 projects that have either finished or underway. I'm going to show you some more projects because that's just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what we can do and in terms of the opportunities we have. If we skip across here, we've got Hilden Street, which again is in Bolton. It was a 5-bedroom HMO. It is now. It was purchased for 130,000. We refurbed it for 60,000. On our refurbs, guys, we don't do cheap cowboy flips. A lot of people, they'll offer a 20K HMO refurb. In 1 year's time, you're going to be coming back to fix a boiler, to fix a gas system. You're going to have tenants complaining about water pressure. We don't do that. We offer extensive refurbs to ensure that this is an investment in 10 years down the track. You don't have to worry about it. We go in, we make sure that everything is dealt with and that tenants can come in, be comfortable and stay long term, that you don't have a high turnover rate. So our refurbs are quite extensive, but they are to last long term. So the refurb here was 60,000. The refinance on this one will be 160,000. The ROI, everything in, not just refurb and the property purchase, I'll show you in a sec, but again, we cover all the costs to make sure that you don't get scares, to make sure that if you're not an experienced investor, that you can know what to expect from the absolute outset, and I'll go through those in a second. But the return on investment with everything in is 26%. Your cash flow per annum is 23,400. That's 23,500 pounds cash flow profit. Now this property here, we partnered with the local organization I was talking about who offer housing with the local authorities. It's either in distress situation or council housing. There's all different types of people. They offer fixed leases of 3 years where you don't pay any council tax, you don't pay any utilities, any Wi-Fi, any bills. You just get profit at the end of the month from this company over the course of 3 years, and that will be extended over the course of 4, 5, 6 years. The reason for that is because there's a shortage of housing. There's people on queue needing housing in a lot of areas around Manchester, a lot of these areas, Bolton being one of them. So this property here, we partnered with them. They're paying 2.5 grand per month that we're getting profit. That's 500 per room because it's a 5-room. It's a 5-room HMO. 2.5 grand per month. Our clients are walking away with profit. They're happy. They're very happy, to say the least. This is just one of the examples that I've got. The second example here is Ellesmere Street, which is in Swinton in the Salford region. This one was a 6-bed. I've actually got 5 there, but it was a 6-bed HMO in Swinton. Purchase price 150,000. It was a complete dump. Needs to be completely overhauled. Refurb is a little bit high because of the works that need to be done at 80,000. Refinance this one as a 6-bed, guys. We're able to access commercial valuations. If you're not sure what they are, I don't have time now to go into detail, but happy to talk about that after. Commercial valuation of £270,000. Your ROI is going to be 34%. If we partner with this, our organization who need rooms in the Salford area, it's going to be 49%. That's a 50% return on investment. If we don't partner with them, it's still a massive 34%, and you can just go private housing and use the agency that we have on board should you wish to, who have great marketing and are able to fill these rooms probably within a month based on the demand in the area. The cash flow for this property here, 26,438, £26,000 per year cash flow. These are the numbers. A lot of people see this and they go, oh, it's risky. How do I fill the rooms? You just need to be partnered with somebody on the ground, which is what we do. Understand the market, understand the demand. We offer our hands-off service as well. If I wasn't sure I could fill these rooms, then I wouldn't go into that space because that's going to make me look silly when it comes to tenanting the property. I can't tenant the property. That's going to make me and my business look silly. But we have integrity in that when we sell a deal, we know that we can follow through with what we're saying and how we sold the deal, and we're happy to do that with our hands-off service as well. Now I'm going to take a second to breathe. The third and final just project that we've done, there's many. This is one, I'll be honest, I bought this one myself because it was a great project and it's one that I took on. So this is a project that I bought myself, but this again was a 6-bedroom, HMO in Bolton as well, just down in the Farnworth region of Bolton, not far from the town centre. Bolton itself I'll talk about in a little bit, but a lot of development, very exciting. This one purchased for 115,000. The refurb, we're looking at 60,000 on this one to do 6 all ensuite HMO, completely new fit out, new plastering, new kitchen, new gas system, new electrical system. We go in and I want to just do this one with my builder who I work very closely with, so I don't have to worry about this and worry about the agency hitting me up for money all the time. We do it good, we do it comprehensive, and we go in and do a good refurb. It's going to refinance, and this is a valuation that's been done on property. The property's been done and let out. £250,000 is the refinance. That's a return on investment of 54%, and that's cash flow of £26,775. So they're the figures that we're looking at. Now, our deals. I'm going to get through one deal before we get onto a break. We pass it back on to Bonnie. But one deal that we've got that I'm going to share with you, we like to be conservative with our numbers as well and try budget as low as we can, because if you're an investor already in the UK, if you're in the HMO market, I'm not sure if you are or if you're not, but if you are in the HMO market, then you'll know there's fluctuation between rental room rates from summer to winter. We're in winter, we need to estimate conservatively, and then we can aim low and then hope for higher. Then anything above that is a surprise. So we have done that with these deals here. And I'll get into them, the first one in a second, but the first one is in Bolton. So I just want to talk about Bolton a little bit. Why Bolton? There is a £1 billion regeneration master plan going on in Bolton as we speak at the moment. There's 4 quarters that have been split up, and there's a ton going on there. There's a lot of money pouring in. Capital appreciation over the past couple of years has just been insane, and I've seen it myself that it's just been harder and harder to access. Properties that were, we could get for 100,000 a year ago, you're looking at 120, 130,000 now. Bolton's got a lot of growth to go still. It is the UK's largest town, and there's 28.8% capital growth expected by 2025. That is 3 years from now. So 30% capital growth is expected by then, based on the amount of money that's going in and based on the investment in Bolton. It's a 20-minute train ride from Manchester city centre. It's not far at all. It's got a tech industry that's, they're putting a lot of money into that space in the town centre. And have a look yourself, jump online and look at Bolton, and you'll see what's going on. But this is one of our favourite areas, not because of all this is a bonus, but because when it comes to HMOs, there's demand for rooms. There's demand for rooms. That's the first thing that you got to look after. Anything after that is a bonus. It's got a cash flow. So this is one of our Bolton HMOs that we have currently available. It's a 5-bedroom HMO. It's in Farnworth as well, around the corner from my property, which is fine because I know that there's enough demand there to share the area. The price is 110,000. The refinance is going to be 145,000. Refurb 66,862. Yield is 24%. The ROI is conservatively 13%, and the cash flow is going to be 12,818. So you can see there, guys, the numbers are, the numbers speak for themselves. They're great numbers. But what we have, guys, we have a lot of deal sources. If you've been in this space for a while, you've got a lot of property sources or deal sources in the UK that will fudge their numbers. We're quite honest with how we do our calculations and how we get to that point, and happy to talk about that more via the platform. But we don't do that. We give comprehensive refurbs, we give conservative rental figures, we give conservative refinance figures, and we also make sure we include everything that needs to be included in the deal from the outset. So, property and area summary. What's good about this area? What's the hype around Bolton? We spoke about Bolton just then. This property here is a 5-minute drive from a major hospital and the Amazon factory. These are the type of things that you need to take into account, that there's Amazon factory, okay? Amazon need workers. A lot of those workers are transient. The hospital need workers. A lot of medical staff are transient based on how the healthcare system in the UK works, is that they divvy the healthcare staff up and spread them across the country. They need somewhere to stay. It's located within walking distance to a very busy town centre. And there's the option to extend and convert the cellar for a 6-bedroom commercial valuations. Again, we can talk about that in a little bit, but they're always better than 5 because you can get a much higher valuation when you refinance a property. Pull most of your capital, if not all of your capital out, go again, and then you own something that cash flows. It's a no-brainer. So this one here will refinance at approximately £145,000. So these are our numbers here. We got 110,000 for the purchase price. End value is 140,000. You can see the remortgage value is there, 108. Stamp duty, if you're a non-UK resident, you have a 2% surcharge, which you're aware of. This is a refurb. Now, what are we looking at here for our fees? We've got solicitors' fees. You've got a mortgage broker's fees. If you're buying mortgage, if you're buying cash, that doesn't matter. You've got a sourcing fee here of 4,000. Our hands-off service, which is optional, is 2,000. How our sourcing fees work as well is we take half up front, we take half after exchange. Should you wish to refund, that is there to be refunded, but we take the second part of the sourcing fee after the exchange has happened. Structural survey, so we'll need a home buyer's report and we'll need an asbestos survey as well. That's 654. Architectural drawings and planning, that's £600. Build control, because we're making changes to the property, that's 714. Council fees and HMO licensing, as it's above 5 bedrooms or above, we'll need a HMO license. That's 1350. Furniture to furnish a property, 6,000. And they're the numbers that you're looking at there. Your potential rental is going to be down here. I won't skip through all of this, but you've got utilities, you've got management of 10%, you've got voids and maintenance of 10%. You've got a monthly profit, you've got an annual profit of £12,818 after you take all expenses that we can think of, that generally go into a deal, are in there, and then you're left with close to 13,000 profit per month. Not bad. This is the area here. It's down here near the Farnworth region. We cannot disclose our locations because some of our properties are on market, some are not, but happy to talk about that further outside of this presentation here. That is our first one. Now, Bonnie, did you want me to pass it back to you? How are we going for time?
Yeah, we're good for time. I just want to check with the attendees if they have any questions with regards to anything that you've just presented right now. Please feel free to drop a question in the Q&A box. Whilst we're waiting for any questions to come through, Dean, I just want to mention thank you so much for presenting that. It's very thorough what you've just described specifically about Bolton. And it's really, I did actually love, I wrote it down. Don't buy and wait, don't wait to buy. So I really love that. I'm going to use that myself. So thank you for that. It's a little golden nugget.
I wish I could claim that, Bonnie, but that's not me. I think that's Simon Zucchi's saying. So,
okay, perfect. Thank you for that. So thank you for sharing it.
No problem.
You've got really strong numbers with regards to what you've presented. And I love the fact that you're so diligent with refurbs and the spec or the quality of the refurb actually that you've provided. The other thing that I'd just like to add is the fact that you've actually invested in the area yourself. So you're very conversant with this area, I guess, is the question that I'm asking. It is somewhere that because you have invested, it is somewhere that you would invest yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, I've just got a...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bonnie.
No, sorry. I thought we had a question. Michael's just saying, hi, Dean. Michael, do you have a question for Dean specifically with regards to anything? Okay, what are the typical timescales for these HMO deals? Michael's asking.
Yeah, Michael, you're looking at, to be honest, from the outset, the first thing is your solicitor. You need a good solicitor because that can change, the timescale a lot. But say you've got a fairly efficient solicitor on board, your conveyancing process, once that all happens, that's a couple of months depending on how quick the vendor's solicitor moves. But you're probably more asking about the refurb of the actual property. For a refurb of a 5 to 6 bedroom HMO, you're looking, with the extensive refurbs that we're doing, we're looking from as soon as our builders can get in 4 to 5 months. So 4 to 5 months as soon as our builders can get in there. If there's any snags along the way, which if you're seasoned investors, you know there is always speed bumps along the way, but we should be aiming around that mark there. As we come to the completion of our refurb, we get building reg sign off, then we can start the HMO application to get the license in. You can tenant 4 tenants without a HMO license. If you want to tenant more than 4 tenants, you'll need to get a HMO license to tenant the 5th or the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. You need the HMO license in place. I hope that answers it, Michael. Feel free to go again if you've got further questions. Do you want me to jump onto this one too, Bonnie, to Trevor's question?
Yeah, I was just going to read that for you. Yeah, so Trevor's, just for the replay, really, Trevor's asked, I have a portfolio of buy-to-lets, low risk, have not ventured into HMOs. How do you see the buy-to-let market?
Yeah, the buy-to-let market's always strong, Trevor. It is always strong. We do buy-to-lets as well. I've just found that we get a lot of, because of the demand that's in our areas that we look at, we focus on HMOs just due to the cash flow, but we also do buy-to-lets and BRRs, that's buy, refurbish, refinance, and then rent it back out. But the buy-to-let market is always going to be strong in the UK. You've got 1, a shortage of housing, 2, you've got a growing population, 3, you haven't got that much land. So people are always looking for accommodation, especially if you're offering good accommodation, you're offering affordable accommodation, then you won't have a problem getting a steady buy-to-let that will be, trustworthy over time, and that is going to, bring in consistent cash flow for you.
Perfect. Thank you for that. I hope that answers your questions, gentlemen. I have a question for you, Dean, because with regards to the refurb, I'm sure our investors either here live or on the replay would like to know what kind of guarantees do they have that the work will be done to a satisfactory level?
Yeah, we're quite transparent in what we do. The first is the proof that we've done previous jobs, that we're happy to show that to, if the investor's locally based, should they wish to come and visit one of those jobs, more than happy to do that, more than happy to talk to the builder from the outset. But the biggest thing at the end of the day is the integrity of Parata property is on the line. We haven't got any bad reviews. We've done over, as I said, 20 HMO projects. We're not here to waste time or take money, and it really is our name that's on the line when we do these jobs and when we finish them off. You can see as well on our socials or Instagram and things like that, you can see the jobs that we're doing and the spec that's there. Does that answer that, Bonnie?
Yeah, that's perfect. I think as well, the other thing to mention to the investors is that in order to protect both parties, we have within Sourcing Investments, they would also enter into a specific refurbishment or renovation contract with yourselves, where each phase is described very clearly, and any fees that were attached to that phase would be added in there. And then with the escrow service, that would actually be released to yourself once the investor has seen the photos or the videos to confirm that the work has been completed to the required spec. So I think with regards to what you're saying from a reputation, it sounds very much like, Dean, and from what we know about yourself, is your reputation is key. You're not here to just make a quick buck. And as you said, the transparency and integrity is really important for you. And then we help protect both sides with regards to the renovation escrow. I think that's quite key to mention here as well. So the investor and the sourcing agent are really protected during the refurb process. Was there anything that you'd want to add to that?
No, that's absolutely, that's absolutely true. And, we, as I said, we're very transparent in what we do, and happy to answer further questions along the way, should any of the people watching this webinar need them. That is Trevor, Walter, and
Michael. Trevor's got another question, actually. What are the yields for buy-to-let? So your HMO numbers are good, especially if you get a long-term lease. So compelling, he said. So what are what are the yields for buy-to-lets?
So yields for buy-to-let, Trevor, you're obviously looking at lower yields because you're not you haven't got as many people in the property, so you're not earning as much rent. But you're looking, anything above 6% is safe. We aim for above that as well, but it can depend. There's a lot of variation on buy-to-lets on the area. Are you getting it below market value? Are you going to be able to refinance the property? All these things can affect, the overall investment. So we don't just look at the yield per se, but we look at, multiple factors in an investment. But we we have anything above 6% to 10% yields in buy-to-lets. HMO numbers are good, you've said there. Well, exactly, this is the thing. We have long-term leases in place we have access to long-term leases in place in a lot of these areas. All these areas that we're presenting today, in fact, and there is demand for housing, and there's a shortage of housing for these types of leases. But a lot of landlords are either not aware or they don't want to go down that route. Now, for me, I'll be completely honest, the first thing I do when my property is done is, and I've already spoken to our and the property is also going to be made. I handed the property over. So these things are, it's just cash cow, like they're just cash cows. So you've got these in multiple areas. You've got it in Wigan, Salford Council, you've got Bolton Council, you've got Rochdale Council, you've got multiple councils around the Greater Manchester area that are screaming out for landlords to help them house a lot of people in these towns and cities that don't have housing for whatever reasons. It's not always council housing if you're not comfortable with that, but there's multiple reasons. And, to get leases on 3 years on whatever it is, it's, it is very compelling.
Thank you for that. Yep. Did you want to answer Walter's question here? What are the risks to not get a HMO license?
Yeah, absolutely. To be completely clear, Walter, there's none. As long as you're outside of an Article 4 area. Now, just quick rundown on Article 4. Article 4 is zoning that the councils bring in to stop, the oversupply of HMOs in an area. None of these areas here have Article 4. As long as it's outside of an Article 4 area, number one, and two, you follow HMO guidelines of that specific council, then you won't have an area. So the regulations will be, they'll say something like Bolton Council, for example, they'll say, okay, you need to have a minimum of 6.5 square meters for a bedroom size. Tick, we can do that. That's no problem. 2, every tenant has to have access to a toilet. If you've got more than 3 tenants, then you have to have 2 bathrooms. Well, they're all ensuite. Tick, we've done that. Number 3 will be there needs to be a fire system in place. We've budgeted that in. Tick, we've done that. Number 4 will be, well, there needs to be sufficient communal space for 5 tenants. Okay, what is that communal space? In Bolton, it's 11.5 meters squared. Easy, done that. In fact, we've done 15 meters squared for our communal space in the property deals that we're presenting. So these are the things, as long as you've got someone in place that knows what the regulations are, that is communicating with the council throughout the process, then there's no issues, there's no risks at all. If you are venturing into an Article 4 zone, then that can be risky because there's no guarantee. In fact, the council will more likely than not say, no, we can't have a HMO in here. But outside of Article 4, it's permitted planning.
Perfect. Thank you, Dean. Okay, fabulous. So I think we are good to go and move into the next deal that you have to present.
Yeah, easy. Let's get into it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Bonnie, just for clarity, I don't want to take up these guys too much time, but I also don't want to give the information that's needed. How much longer will I have to present?
You've got at least, well, I've given you 20 minutes, but you've got to go for 30. Whatever you need is fine.
Okay.
We've scheduled it to 9:30, so it's fine.
Hopefully I'm not boring you guys. So
not
if I
at all.
Walter, Trevor, and Michael, just let me know, hey, you're boring me. So amp it up. All right. So we are heading over now we're staying in Bolton, in fact, because I love Bolton and we do a lot of work there and we work closely with the authorities there. This is another Bolton HMO. And guys, the property I showed you at the start, Wheatfield Street, this one is just around the corner. It's in the same region in Bolton and it's just around the corner. So Trevor's just said all good, plenty of time available. Thanks, Trevor. I appreciate that a lot, mate. So this is just around the corner from that property. So the demand is there. It's been proven. The other property was fully let within 2 weeks. We done it, and that's what and as I said before, 500 to 550 per room. So this deal is, it's a 5-bedroom HMO in Bolton. The purchase price, you're looking at 115,000. You refinance, you're looking at 140,000 based on comparables in the area, maybe more by the time we get there by capital appreciation. Refurb, you're looking at 70,831. We have to do quite a bit with this one, flip staircases and so forth in order to make it take advantage of the room. The yield is 24%. The ROI is 14%. The cash flow is 13,875. So these are the numbers that we've got, and I will show you how we got those numbers. So the property and area summary: current rooms in the area are renting 475 plus, as I said, 500 to 550, but always go in conservatively. If you're seasoned property investors, you know this already. Go in conservatively, unless we're going to go with the lease option and get the corporation on board. If you're going to go private, which is also a great avenue to go because of the demand in the area, go in conservatively with your numbers. We've done these ones, we budgeted these ones at 450, not 500 or not 550, 450, which has given us a cash flow of 13,875 and ROI. If we bump those numbers up, obviously the ROI yield cash flow is going to go up, but we don't want to do that because we want to make sure that you're not disappointed when you come to let the property. So there's an option to partner with a company for fixed 3-year lease, which obviously we've spoken about. It's close to Bolton Town Centre. It's a 5-minute bus into Bolton Town Centre. You can walk in very close to, to a major train station in Bolton, and there's huge capital appreciation in this specific area. Bolton as a whole, there's a lot of capital appreciation. As we've seen before, there's predicted to be a 30% increase by 2025. But in this specific area in Bolton, it is really, there's a lot of gentrification, which is a fancy word of saying, there's a lot of uplift in the area. So this is a great area in the Bolton region. So these are our numbers here. We've got 115 on our purchase, end value is 140. The remortgage, that's what we're looking at there. Stamp duty, refurbishment, solicitors' fees, these all stay the same. Our sourcing hands-off stays the same. Structural and asbestos, these all stay the same. And guys, these are numbers that are based off, they're based off the power team that we have in place. So my personal solicitor, which I recommend if somebody hasn't got solicitor in place, or maybe they're looking for a change, these are his fees. The surveyors that we use to do our home buyers report, Cozy Homes, these are their fees. The asbestos surveyors that we use, Acorn surveyors, these are the numbers we use. So they're not just numbers we pluck out of the air. These are numbers that are, down to the dot. They're exactly what we use. I will say this as well. There is always variation with numbers based on whether prices have increased or based on, whether something's come up that we haven't planned for. But as you can see, we try to plan for everything. Council fees, furniture, and then your investment needers is shy of 200K. And then you're going to be looking at a potential rental, your annual profit after expenses, 13,890. Again, I haven't budgeted this one based on going with the company that we have a partnership with, or that, sorry, we know and have a good relationship with, but I budgeted this on private rental, which is you have to take into account the utilities, council tax, etc., etc. So you're still looking at just under £14,000 per annum. That's £14,000. That's a lot of money. 23% yield, just under a 14% return on investment on a cash purchase. We've got 2 tabs here. The second column here is on a mortgage purchase at 12.72%. This is the area here to the east of Bolton, in this area, which is quite close to the train centre, very close. Buses run in every couple of minutes straight into Bolton Town Centre, but you can walk from where it is. You've also got the option, guys, of the University of Bolton. I think it's got a goal by the end of 2022 to have 20,000 students. So it's currently growing. There's a lot of investment going in there. Manchester's the biggest university city in Europe, and that's spreading from the city centre itself into areas like Bolton that are picking up niches in different subjects and subjects that other universities don't cover. So the student population there is big and it is growing. So that's our second deal for the day. Any questions on that one, just feel free to stop me as I go along, but I'm going to continue to move on to the next one.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions with regards to that, Dean. So you mentioned there that the university from central Manchester is expanding, and it feels like the way you described it, it's literally rippling out. So actually, one of the end clients that the investors could target, if you like, would be students. So to have a student HMO specifically.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it sounds like there's a very high demand for properties. You mentioned the other company that you work alongside with to do the lease. So
Yep.
there's how quickly when these refurbs are done and the HMO is ready to go, how quickly does it take to actually to fill all 5 rooms, as an example, if I was looking at a 5-bedroom HMO?
So privately, Bonnie, you're looking at probably, we generally go off a week per tenant, to be, to give you kind of maximum time. But if you're going through the option of this company, and don't base everything on that, but it is a great option. If you're going through the option of this company, we're looking at, I'll go back just, if I can quickly, I'll go back to this property just so you can see the one we're talking about. Hilden Street here, that's the before and after. But this has finished, and they asked for the keys straight away. So they're actually picking up the keys this weekend. And to our client, for this one who's based in Hong Kong, they're making the first transaction this weekend. It took a little bit longer because obviously our clients wanted to do their proper due diligence and wanted to ensure that contracts were in place. Solicitors looked over that, wanted to ensure that everything was checked. And as soon as it was, they said, we need rooms. Give us the keys so we can take over the property. So that's really exciting because that property, which we sourced from the start to the finish, has been taken over this weekend. So for those, you can get in as soon as you've got as soon as the refurb's done, they can get in.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. Thank you for answering that. Walter's actually got a question here with regards to refinance. He said, your list of cost and fees looks quite complete. Are all the fees for the refinance also mentioned? Financing in the UK can be expensive.
Yeah, we've got those calculated in. I'll have to go and look to see if they're on these specific deal tables, but I'll have to go and have a look. But we've got the mortgage broker's fees, and we generally do calculate our fee. Oh, sorry, I'll click on live, Walter. We generally do calculate our fee in there for the refinancing as well, just so you've got all those fees there as well. But you can see there's various options as well. If you go down the bridging route, you've got bridging fees that have been calculated in your bridging loan. So there's a lot of, especially people that aren't seasoned in the UK or seasoned in investing in general, they're not aware of the fees that come with investing, with buying property. So we try to be as upfront as we can about that. But we've also got people in place, mortgage brokers and those types of things that we can refer you to, just to cross the T's and dot the I's to ensure that you've got all the information before going ahead with your deal or your refinance, for example.
Absolutely. And just to come back to that with regards to Walter's question, there are panels and power teams within the portal, Walter, that you will be able to ask questions for. So they'd be able to do a little bit of due diligence, have a little conversation with you, and just look at what you have available and what you'd be able to get. So what you can access in the UK with regards to being an overseas investor, what investment facilities are there to help you finance deals here in the UK. So that is available as well through the platform. Thank you, Dean. Gentlemen, keep the questions coming through. I'm going to hand back over to Dean in the meantime.
No problem. So our next deal that we're going to is another town in Greater Manchester. It is Wigan. Wigan's a great area with a lot of capital appreciation. And again, it is benefiting, Bonnie, you touched on this before, but it's benefiting from the ripple effect from Manchester. Manchester itself is, it'll benefit from the HS2, but it's essentially between Manchester and Birmingham, they're England's second city. And a lot of people are moving their money up here. We deal with a lot of London-based investors because you can get a lot more for your money in areas like Manchester, Leeds, Liverpool, than you can down in London. So a lot of investors are moving their money up north, which I think is a smart move. So Wigan's one of those towns that is, in the process of having investment poured in, and that we'll see over the next couple of years transition. Now you've got 4.83% price increase in the last 12 months in Wigan property. You've got £6 billion worth of investment expected by 2024 going into Wigan. And that's in all industries. That's not just the council money or government money that's going in. That's in all industries. There's a lot of investment going in. And it's Manchester's biggest population outside of the city. So Wigan's a great area. But guys, not just because of these things, but because of the demand for rooms in Wigan. There's a lot of demand for rooms in Wigan. And the property that I'm about to show you is very close to the town centre, very close to access links. I spoke to, again, another contact of mine the other day, and he said he's in need of 100 rooms. He needs 100 rooms. He could take them tomorrow if we had them to house people that are on his books for different reasons. So Wigan's a great area, and Wigan's a lot cheaper as well than many other towns. It's even a little bit cheaper than Bolton. Rental prices, again, you have to adjust on that basis, so they'll come down a little bit, but rent doesn't change too much. It's fairly consistent in comparison to the purchase price of a property. So about Wigan as well, I've got a little script here just with a bit more information. So the capital appreciation in the last 12 months, as we said, has risen by 4.8%. Property prices in Wigan have been in the increase for a number of decades. The area's dramatic appreciation in value can be attributed to an equally sudden increase in investment in the local community. So by 2024, as we mentioned, $6 billion worth to go into the economy. So the economy is growing. Now, this is our HMO here. It's a 5-bedroom HMO in Wigan. A purchase price of $98,000, a refinance of $110,000 on this one. So that's a very, very conservative refinance. We think 66,112 on the refurb. The yield's 25, the ROI is 13, the cash flow is 12,885. This is one of the properties that if we were to get it done, you'd be able to put it on a 3-year lease straight away. Done. 3-year lease. It's close to the town centre. It's close to transport links. 3 years done. Fixed income. We'd say between $415 to $450 per room. Generally, you're going to get the higher market value on these properties because of the standard that we do and because of the location. So you can get that fixed money coming into your bank account every month. You don't even have to worry about it. We can also partner should there be any issues with the property. You also have the option, which if you see here, I've left on. I haven't done that one as a partnership, but you can also partner with an agent that we have on board. Sam Oliver Estate Agency is really, really good agency. So should there be any issues with the property at all, they can take care of that. You don't want to have your hands on as an investor. You want passive income. You want to stay back, focus on the things that make you money, and you want your investors to turn money over in the background, which is what something like this does. Property and area summary. So current rooms in the area renting for $415 plus. These are ensuite bedrooms, so we can be looking at above $415, close to Wigan Town Centre and the hospital. Option to partner with a company. Shortage of housing in Wigan, as I said, is quite large. There's a high shortage of housing, and Wigan set to continue growing off the back of Manchester's boom. 98,000 on your purchase, 110,000 on your refinance. Again, I don't want to bore you with all these numbers. We've read through them before, but you can see this is how we get to our figures, which are 12,885 on your annual profit, and then you've got 25% yield and a 13% ROI on a cash buy. If you're a mortgage buyer, you do it on bridging. Should you wish to do it on bridging, you don't need to, but that's 11.9. That's a 12% ROI. So the area here, again, it's close to Wigan Town Centre. It's north of Wigan Town Centre, around this area here, close to the hospital, which needs staff, good tenants. should you go down that route, you could do it, you know, a medical professional's HMO. They're in, they sleep, they go to work, they do that for 6 months, and then they move on to the next place wherever they're going. So that's an option as well. So that is the third deal, and we've got one more deal to present now. Bonnie's just put something else in the chat as well. You can see the link there. So jump on our page as well. Jump on our link there, have a look around, see what deals we've got on there, because we've got other deals on there as well. It's not just these ones that we have available. We always have deals available. We always have more becoming available, but they go quick. We've got a lot of investors on board looking for these types of deals, and they go quite quickly. So speak to us, and we can talk about this further if you want to. So Bonnie, did you want to read that, or did you just want me to read Michael's question?
Yeah, no, I've got that for you. So Michael's just answering the 3-year leases or social housing contracts. Question mark, no council tax, etc. What happens after lease? Is it returned in the same condition as the start of the contract? And what about deposits?
Yeah, so no, they're not just social housing, Michael. They can be a number of tenant types. Sometimes you have people in distressed positions. Sometimes you have emergency accommodation. It's not just social housing, but they are some of the tenant types that they take on. So there's various, and we can liaise with you, and you can liaise with the actual company that we have a relationship with about these things. Council taxes, no, so they cover all bills. So they cover council tax, utilities, HMO licenses, Wi-Fi. All your bills are covered, so you're not having to factor those things in. So you can see here where we've actually factored in 4,560 per year on council tax, utilities, and license. That can be taken out straight away and put that on top of your annual profit. So those are the things you don't have to worry about. Voids and maintenance, you can take that out as well. 2.5 grand, put that straight on your profit, because it's not going to be void for 3 years. Now, the question you've asked is, after 3 years, what happens? This isn't black and white, but generally speaking, if you've had experience in this area, once the council, or once someone associated with the council gets hold of a house, they don't like to give it back. What I mean to say is they want to continue their lease again and again and again. Now, I can't guarantee this. You'll need to assess it at the end of the 3 years, but generally speaking, the council don't have enough houses. So if they get your house, they will want to keep that, for a lifetime, so that they can use it and house it. You can also, in the contracts that we have, that this company provides, they guarantee contractually to give back your house in the same condition as when they purchased it, as when they took on the lease. Now, what they won't do is structural issues, boilers, kitchens, etc. They won't go replacing, but general maintenance issues, if there's anything done, they will fix that and give that back in the same condition. This is all stuff that you can go through as well, should you go through the deal, that you can iron out as you get to that point. And what about deposits? I'm not sure about the exact deposits. I'm assuming there'll be some type of contractual exchange there, but that's something that we can work out as well. Now, where were we up to? Leads. Cool. So this is our last deal. I didn't want to take up too much time. We have more deals, but I didn't want to present too many more. But Leeds, I lived in Leeds, actually. I'm in the process of moving to London. I'll be in London from the new year, because that's where a lot of business is. But Leeds is where I live myself, and I know Leeds really well, and I love Leeds. What Leeds has, it's got a thriving university student population. It's got the biggest banking sector outside of London, biggest financial sector, and a lot of students, a lot of people that come to Leeds to study, they stay on there because of the cost of living is much cheaper than down south. What Leeds has in terms of HMOs is what we're presenting here today. Is Leeds has a Article 4 zoning. So Article 4 zoning as well, guys, if you're not aware, it's just pretty much a red circle that the government, that the council, local council, put around a town centre or a city centre or whatever to say, you can't put HMOs inside this area because we've got enough. That's fine. You don't want too many HMOs if you're a resident. You don't want too many shared houses. Understandable. But outside of those areas, there's a lot of space, a lot of towns that you can take advantage of and do HMOs. Now, your prices in Leeds, you're going to be upwards of 500, 550 for an ensuite rooms. They're much higher than Bolton, much higher than Wigan. You can get great room rates in Leeds. You can get 600, I've seen, but we've budgeted low. We've budgeted, I think at this one is 450. I think we've budgeted per room because you don't want to be over optimistic and not achieve that. Now, Leeds itself, there's 21% economic growth projected by 2032. So that's 21. So that's huge because the amount of business that's in Leeds. They're currently doing a city master plan. There's got a lot of people have moved there in the past few years. You've had Emmerdale has moved there. I think it's one of the stations, one of the TV stations. I can't remember what they're called, but a lot of people have moved to Leeds for business, for cheaper operating costs. Student population is over 60,000 and growing. And again, I just mentioned this, but the Leeds City Master Plan to double the city centre is currently underway. Now that is huge. That is going to expand the whole city centre. I lived in Leeds. I see it happening on a daily basis and I keep tabs of it, and it's happening as we speak, and it's awesome. It looks really, really good. That's going to drive more money, drive more people to move there, and those types of things. So Leeds is a really, really great city. Now, this is a HMO that we've got. It's a 4-bed, not a 5-bed, but it is in need of a lot of love. It's a 4-bed HMO. The purchase price is 85,000 in South Leeds. Refinance at 120,000. Refurb at 64, just under 65k, because there's a lot of work that need to get done in our refurbs. When these are uploaded onto the portal, you'll also see that we give a space for contingency and a complete breakdown on sourcing investments of how the refurb works and what we've budgeted. So that 65k, the yield is 25% ROI, 13% cash flow is 10,000 per annum on a 4-bedroom HMO. 10,000 per annum is a lot of money. So property and area settlement. So this property here is cash buyers only because of the state of the property. It needs to be a cash purchase. It's close to Leeds City Centre and major office parks. So very close to attracting young professionals, and it'll refinance at approximately 120,000. And there's the option for the BRR strategy as well, which is to buy it, refurbish it, flip it, refinance it. You don't have to do the HMO strategy, but just we work specialize in HMOs because of the cash and the demand, and it's such a good strategy, and your returns are so high. But whatever you're comfortable with, if you have a different risk tolerance, then a BRR might be more to your liking. So this is the asking price here. Again, numbers are all here listed. So the numbers that you probably want to see are these ones here, which is annual profit 10,000, gross yield 25%, and a return on investment of 13%. Something safe, something secure. It's only 4 tenants. Leeds in a city of 500,000 people. 4 tenants isn't hard to find, especially if you have the HMOs like we do, which are high spec. They're done to a top standard. We don't mess around. We make sure that survey reports are read thoroughly and carefully, and that we do everything on them that needs to be done so that we don't have problems in the future. Now, yes, this does mean it's a higher refurb cost, but if it's our name on the line, our integrity, then we don't want to sell you a property or source a property where the boiler is going to spit out gas or water in a few years, or where the pipes are going to break, or where the water's going to drip through the ceiling roof. You want to be sure that you can have a safe investment as well. A lot of investors don't actually visit the property themselves. They put a lot of faith in the sourcer. So we want to make sure we repay that faith by doing what we think is our duty to provide a proper investment that is safe and secure. So this is just a map of Leeds. Here you can see the various districts, and it is down South Leeds here. I won't give away too much else, but it is great links into the city centre. That is us. I'm happy to open it, Bonnie, if you want to take over. But guys, just check out quickly. There's an email there, but you can contact obviously on the platform. There's a sourcing investments. Our our landing page, jump on that and see what we have available. And Instagram, jump on Instagram, have a look, and you can see our stuff day to day, what we're doing, and our projects, and keep up to date there and see what we're actually doing. And this is just some of our Hong Kong based investors that are buying with us at the moment. And we're actually this property behind that you can see, myself and my partner, that's the agent that I work with very closely, a good friend of mine, and we do a lot of work with. You can see behind, this is the actual property that we've been looking after for them. So Bonnie, I'll hand it over to you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Dean. You've got so much going on, and I love the fact that you've done, just HMOs itself. I think you said 20 HMOs already so far. And is that right? 20 HMOs. And
we're doing a bank as well, Bonnie. We're converting a commercial bank into a residential HMO, 11-bed HMO in the middle of Swinton. So it's not just standard residential, we do commercial, but we also do, I don't want to just pigeonhole us as well. We also do a lot of buy-to-lets, a lot of BRRs, below market value. Stay on the platform and you'll see all this stuff is uploaded.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you so much, Dean. I just wanted to mention to the investors that a couple of the deals that Dean's just shown aren't live yet because he's just sourced those. So the presentation's been done, but they will be uploaded shortly. Well, not very shortly, because obviously it's evening in Australia here, but just give him a few days and that will be uploaded. I just wanted to mention to the investors that if they do want to start a conversation with you, to head over to your landing page. I have actually given the link, but I'll give another link there. That's the link to start a conversation with Dean. I'm going to share my screen so that here we go again. I'll need you to stop sharing, but whilst you're doing that, I want to share the screen and actually show the investors how to start the conversation with you, so that they know how to head over to your landing page and actually click the link and begin the conversation. Gentlemen, if you do go in, when you go in and start the conversation with Dean, just so that he knows where you've come from, if you could just start the conversation with #DealClinic. So this is Dean's landing page here. This is the link that you would need, which I've already put into the chat box for you. This is for the gentleman here live and anyone else watching the replay. We've had attendees pay, and obviously they can't attend live, so they will be watching replay. This is Dean's landing page here. There's the about, which this was the video that Dean also played, so feel free to watch that again. The strategies that Dean has mentioned, there's a lot more than what's here in the little bio here, though. If you want to start a conversation with Dean, which is the reason that I really want to show you here, if you go to the live chat button, you would be asked as to whether you want to continue a direct conversation. You would just need to press proceed, and then there you go. You're already instantly linked to Dean and you are about to start the live conversation there. So it's very, very simple. It is literally a click of the button. And then you would be able to ask Dean whatever questions that you needed to, with regards to the deals that he has literally just gone through, or any other deal that's in his window. So I just want to thank our investors for turning up live, and also those that will be watching on the replay. Dean, thank you so much for your time. It's been thoroughly enjoyable. So much value, so much value. It's just incredible to see how much you've already done. The quality of the work that you do alongside your team, and the value that you add for the investor. I know that Terry's very happy with what he has. I personally would also be very happy with what Terry has.
Well, there's plenty. We've got plenty more of those videos to come. It takes a long while to get them done and cut up and that type of thing. But yeah, we can send them over, and you guys over there can do what you want with them, put them on or on the profile or whatever.
Perfect. And that's exactly what I was just about to say, that the Terry deal, if we can just call it that, is not the anomaly. That's actually the regular story for your investors, that they get such good value. Okay, beautiful. So I want to thank you for your time, Dean, because I know it's late out there. We have one question just coming. Oh, okay. So Walter has said, Dean, many thanks for all the insights. Trevor has said, thanks, Dean. We'll contact you on live chat. Beautiful.
Perfect, guys. Thank you.
Great. That's great, gents. And then also anybody watching the replay, also feel free to get in touch with Dean. If you can, start the conversation, #DealClinic, just so that we know you were here with us. whether it be live or on the replay. Dean, once again, thank you so much for your time. Michael, Trevor and Walter, I really want to thank you for attending live.
Thank you, guys.
And once again, Dean, all the best for where you're at and moving forward. Have a lovely Christmas. Sorry, we've got new messages coming in. Okay. Another thank you from one of the gentlemen here. And I want to wish the gentlemen that are here live and anybody else watching replay. This was our Christmas special. So we featured Dean solely on this one. So Dean had the full floor, shall we say, to walk through his deals. Thank you for your time, Dean, and to everyone here present and also those who will be watching the replay, wishing you all a very, very Merry Christmas from Sourcing Investments. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care.